TF2 is such a simple yet mechanically complex game that I highly doubt anyone on the planet would claim to know absolutely everything about it. And over the years I picked up my fair share of trivia and misunderstandings within the TF2 community about how the game plays, how the game works, the lore, or whatever it might be. So today we're going to be covering several TF2 in-game misconceptions. This could be anything from commonly misunderstood stats, to how weapons work that people don't understand, to secret hidden tips and tricks to here and there. This is by no means a comprehensive list of every single misunderstood thing in TF2, so if you'd like to know more, please let me know down below. And with that being said, the only real criteria of this video is that we're going to be starting with the strongly misunderstood things and working our way down to the more obscure. That being said, be sure to subscribe and let's get started. Misconception number 1. Sapper armor only applies to sentries. So that may sound surprising to those who do know, and for those who don't know, Sapper armor is the concept that when you sap an engineer's building, your revolver will deal 33% less damage to it while under the effects of the sap. This is to stop cheeky spies from instantly destroying your buildings before you have time to react. However, Sapper armor only applies to sentries, it doesn't apply to any other building within the engineer's arsenal. This Sapper armor applies to all revolvers, including the Enforcer, which its whole purpose is to bypass several shield mechanics in the game. The common misconception here is that everyone seems to think that Sapper armor applies to all buildings, but that's just not the case. It only applies to sentries. You can shoot a dispenser while it's being sapped and still deal full damage to it. This is one of the bigger misconceptions on the list, which is why I decided to put it first. Number 2. Scout could outrun his hitbox with the old Babyface's blaster. The original patch explaining the Babyface's blaster's nerf into oblivion, oh that took me a while to say, claimed that it was because the Scout could outrun his hitbox. And while in reality, that wasn't as much as the case as it sounds. It's a fantastic video by wget basically explaining how this worked, and no, he couldn't outrun his hitbox. It would lag slightly here and there, but that was only a very minor glitch. And once again, this seems like a completely fixable thing that Valve just decided was too hard and just nerfed the weapon into oblivion. Very sad. Number 3. The Vaccinator provides full crit immunity. So, the Vaccinator's Supercharge provides 75% damage resistance to your selected type, and you can also mix it in with some of the others. And it also provides crit immunity in terms of damage. Much like with the Ubercharge of the normal Medigun, you could still be knocked about by Crockets or whatever it might be. And it's only the Quick Fix's Supercharge that makes you completely immune to knockback. So yes, this thing technically provides a crit damage immunity, but it does not provide crit immunity as a wider whole. Number 4. The spy knife animation has to raise before you can get the backstab. I didn't know this was a thing until I saw Lazy Purple's How It Feels to play Meet the Amazing Spy, in which he went around getting many stabs without the knife animation raising, and I was really confused. So I decided to look it up, and turns out the actual backstab hitbox trigger happens way before the animation rises. So yes, a good spy would know this, but most players like me don't. On the topic of spy, let's talk about number 5, back hitboxes. I'm sure many a TF2 player knows this by now, but back hitboxes aren't as cohesive as they seem. Back hitboxes are much wider on one side than they are on the other. This means you have a massive advantage when attacking from the right side of a player than attacking from the left side of the player when you're using something like the back scatter, any of Spy's knives, and of course the back burner. Why this is the case is beyond me, but it seems to be that hitboxes as a whole in TF2 are pretty janky. And once again, continuing down this train of Spy and hitboxes again, number 6, Spy's hitboxes do not change with his disguise. This image is a fantastic example here. As you can see, the Spy's hitbox does not change when he disguises as the Scout. The Scout body is unheadshottable, but the actual Spy's hitbox is still above the Scout. A good sniper will know this and know how to capitalize on it, but at the end of the day, it's a very difficult thing to learn. Number 7, all strange wrenches count sentry kills. So, this is a very confusing one to me, and I'm good to assume not many players know this, as not many players care about strangers like I do. But it seems to be that every wrench counts sentry kills as part of the level up except for the Southern Hospitality. Why this is, I have absolutely no clue. For example, my stock wrench has 500 kills, my Jag has 400 kills, but the Southern Hospitality I have only has 13. It still counts the sentry kills as a separate margin, but at the same time, it doesn't level up with them. I have no clue why this is, and I find it very annoying, but maybe that's just me. I forgot what number we're on. The direct hit is the fastest projectile. So, the direct hit obviously has an absurd increase in projectile speed compared to the other rocket launchers. But it's not actually the fastest projectile. The tied for the fastest projectiles in the entire game are the Man Melter, the Throne Cleaver, and the Sandman's Ball. Then there are simple ones that are more confusing, like the Rescue Ranger's Bolt and the Flare Gun, which are actually much faster than a direct hit. This isn't as much a misconception as many people think, but most players will see the humongous 70% faster projectile speed and instantly assume it's like a bullet. Number 9. The Spicicle can be recharged by ammo packs. So I made a video a good while ago basically talking about how I think the Spicicle is a direct upgrade from stock, which I still believe. And in that video I told many people that you can regain the Spicicle's meter by ammo packs, and literally no one knew that. Maybe this is a widely known thing, I'm not too sure, but it seems my comment section were very green to it. So yes, you can recharge the Spicicle from literally everything except from dispensers. As to why this is, I'm not even going to pretend to know why ammo packs contain literal chunks of ice. But regardless, I'm still very glad it's a mechanic in the game today. And number 10, the Airstrike's only good pairing is with the Base Jumper. This here is the buff banner. When the buff banner meter is full and you combine it with the Airstrike, you can create insanely fast dive bombs that spit out humongous amounts of damage. I love the Airstrike, and combining this thing with the buff banner is one of the strongest combinations Soldier has in terms of raw DPS. If you haven't tried it before, I urge you to go try it, as it's really fun and it will not only help you, but your team as well, as the buff banner is an incredibly useful tool. And that's going to do it for this video. I was really reluctant to ever make a top 10, and I still don't count this as a top 10, but it's borderline along the margin. We seem to have sped run through all of the facts faster than I calculated, so I'm just going to use this bit at the end to talk about some future channel updates and whatnot. If you're only here for the TF2 misconceptions, thank you for watching. You may click off now, I don't mind. I'm going to talk about Koth 2 Fort, and I'm going to yabber on about some other sort of things, so if you're interested, stick around for that. So, number 1. I may or may not be making an alternate channel at some point in the future to post non-TF2 videos. This is, and unfortunately, will always be a TF2 channel, and while I play other games, these videos never tend to do as well. And it's actively more damaging for me to upload videos on other games that don't do as well, than to put them on a completely separate channel where they get the same amount of views, but then again, I have no reputation to worry about on that channel. YouTube works in mysterious ways, and I'm going to be honest with you, I haven't been making enough money as I previously have with this channel, and it's worrying me. So look out for that announcement in the future. Number 2, Koth 2 Fort. Koth 2 Fort is currently in its second beta phase. I will provide a download for the file in the description if you're really interested and want to play it out yourself. Currently, it's going really well, and the map creator Brimp is also working on several other things, which I'm not awfully prepared to show you yet, just as a hint of suspense. Which leads me to my point number 3, we will at some point be hosting official Lonkador servers. We will host some silly maps like this, and then we will host some genuinely good maps. I'd essentially like to create Uncletopia minus all of the arseholes, as it is my true opinion that Uncletopia currently provides the single worst TF2 experience one could have. I'd love to make a video talking about that, however I think someone else already has, so I'm reluctant to. But yes, servers will be coming in the future, which leads me to number 4, Patreon. I don't know if anyone's gonna care or not, and if you want to click off the video now, I do not blame you, I would do the same thing. But at some point within the very near future, I will be setting up some form of Patreon. The reason I haven't done so until now is that I've felt like I've had very little to offer in terms of competitive rewards, but now I'm growing to the point where I really do feel like I do. I would plan to make the rewards very competitive, and I plan to also make it cheaper. As while the 3 months I've been running this channel, I still haven't made a profit in terms of software costs and equipment and all that other stuff, but when I finally start to make net profit, I will start to make better rewards, I promise you that. And with that, okay, that's going to be the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you later down the sunny road. Cheers.